pounds, and yet she still had to deal with the emotional weight of feeling unseen in her own home. Private sources close to production have said that Kimmy would often retreat to herself, not because she wanted space from Maurice, but because it hurt more to feel ignored while sitting next to him. She reportedly told friends,
"Oof, y'all. Maurice Scott is out here literally begging Kimmy to come back. But let's be real. Is that a man feeling true regret, or is this just messy last-minute damage control? Let's take it back and unpack this drama piece by piece. Because, baby, this story is layered. See, Maurice and Kimmy were once considered the mature couple on Love and Marriage Huntsville. They weren't always in the middle of the mess, screaming or throwing shade on camera. No, they had that chill, collected vibe. Kimmy was the grounded one, always graceful, always supportive, and Maurice was playing the role of the ambitious, family-first husband who had his eyes on the prize and his law books in hand. But as time passed, viewers started peeping the cracks. It started feeling one-sided. Kimmy was doing everything. She was managing the house, juggling co-parenting, raising her son, lifting Maurice's dreams, and still showing up for everybody else. Meanwhile, Maurice, he stayed in his own bubble. Whether it was pursuing his law career, coaching his son, or chasing whatever came next on his personal agenda, he barely paused to check in with Kimmy. When she did open up, it felt like she had to justify her emotions just to be heard.
Thing for Miss Black Titanic, and I appreciate that. And it's always good to see creators supporting other creators. But child, y'all go over there and listen to this, because this right here is the clown of the year, baby.
Once Kimmy quietly stepped back
and then everything shifted when Kimmy got hit with the scariest news, her breast cancer diagnosis. She went public, bravely sharing her story, and the whole world rallied behind her. But off camera, something wasn't right. In moments where Kimmy was breaking down, overwhelmed, or exhausted, Maurice didn't come across as cruel, but he was distant, detached, like he couldn't grasp the full emotional toll she was under. He was there physically, sure, but emotionally, that man was MIA. When Kimmy needed a soft place to land, he gave her lectures. When she needed love, he gave logic. And slowly, quietly, a wall went up between them. Not loud, not explosive, but painful. You could feel it. This woman was in the fight of her life: surgery, chemo, exhaustion, emotional trauma. And on top of all that, she felt alone, right next to her husband. Sources close to production said Kimmy would retreat to silence, not because she needed space, but because the pain of being ignored while sitting beside Maurice hurt more than being physically alone. She reportedly told friends, "I feel lonelier in my marriage than I ever did single." Fans clocked it too. No wedding ring in her recent pics, no birthday posts, no anniversary mentions, radio silence. Meanwhile, Maurice was online posting about real estate deals and motivational gigs like his wife wasn't battling for her life. And the silence, it spoke volumes. The same woman who cheered him on through thick and thin was now navigating her darkest days alone. Viewers were left asking, where's Maurice? Because the one person who should have been her rock was nowhere to be found. And that emotional absence, that lack of showing up, it didn't just hurt, it shattered something deep.
Ring, not to repropose, but as a symbol of starting over without the weight of old patterns. Then came the biggest shock. He offered to quit Love and Marriage Huntsville altogether, on the spot. He said if the cameras were part of the problem, if public life added pressure to their marriage, he would walk away from the show that helped make his name. I'd trade visibility for peace with her.
Eventually, Kimmy stopped playing her usual role. No more texting first, no more saving the day, no more masking his emotional void. And that's when Maurice panicked. He went from cold to clingy. Late night calls, voicemails, pop-ups at her place, desperate texts saying, just talk to me. He was spiraling, y'all, like a man who just realized too late that the woman who gave him everything was finally done. Insiders say he even started calling up mutual friends and family, begging them to tell Kimmy to speak to him. It got so bad, Kimmy had to lay down boundaries, stop showing up uninvited. But the moment that shook everybody, a leaked voicemail. One night, it popped up on a gossip blog, and fans were shook. Maurice's voice was raw, trembling, broken. In the clip, he's pleading with Kimmy, I know I didn't show up the way you needed, but I never stopped loving you. If walking away helps you heal, I'll respect it, but please, just talk to me one more time. And the internet? Divided. Some fans felt for him, saying it takes real strength to own up when you've failed someone emotionally. Others called BS, saying it was nothing but panic because Kimmy had finally had enough and walked away. Then came the Instagram meltdown. Out of the blue, Maurice went live, face looking wrecked. He claimed it wasn't for the cameras, that he just needed to speak from the heart. And for once, he actually did. He admitted he failed at emotional communication. He said seeing Kimmy leave forced him to recognize how much she carried, not just physically, but emotionally, for both of them, and how slow and slurred it felt. Maurice says the play was good, and he was willing to back and pay to break up, but he realized he didn't spill the full tea about the breakup. But he did drop one heavy letter and a ring. In that same live, he revealed the letter was written the night Kimmy left. A letter, a ring. And that he didn't read the whole thing, but one line had people sobbing. I thought being strong meant holding it together, but maybe real strength is saying, I was wrong before you leave. He even pulled out a new ring, not to propose again, but as a symbol of starting fresh without repeating the past. But then came the plot twist. Maurice said he was willing to quit Love and Marriage Huntsville if it meant fixing things with Kimmy. If the cameras were part of the problem, if public life made it worse, I'd walk away from the show today. I'd trade all this visibility for peace with her in a second. Kimmy didn't respond to the live, no statements, no comments, just silence. But a few days later, she posted a single IG story. A quiet photo of a teacup, the words, peace feels different when you earn it. Who? And then came the reunion rumors. Kimmy was spotted having a quiet lunch with Maurice at a low-key spot in Huntsville. Fans started hoping maybe, just maybe, they were working things out until the bomb dropped.
Clicked with his statements about being focused on his marriage. Meanwhile,
Enter Shayla. No one saw her coming, especially not Maurice. Shayla stepped forward with receipts and she didn't come to play. Screenshots, voice notes, texts, everything. And what she claimed blew this whole redemption arc to pieces. According to Shayla, Maurice wasn't just brokenhearted and lonely during his split with Kimmy. He was actively cheating with her. Yup. In the texts, Maurice is allegedly telling Shayla how hard things are at home, how he can't be himself with Kimmy, and even worse, I'm stuck between the woman I love and a life I'm not ready to leave. The audacity. Then came the voice note, a 3-minute recording where Maurice is allegedly whispering into the phone, laughing with Shayla, talking about a little getaway they had. And when fans checked the timeline, that same week Maurice was online crying over Kimmy and showing off that apology letter. So while he was sobbing on IG, begging for a second chance, he was also whispering sweet nothings to Shayla. Shalay said she didn't want to come forward, but couldn't stomach watching him paint himself as the grieving, perfect husband while living a double life. She claimed Maurice was putting on a performance for the world, but with her, he was living his truth. And the mess just kept getting messier. Maurice was allegedly sending I love you texts to Kimmy and Shayla in the same time frame, talking about building new memories with Kimmy while fantasizing about escaping with Shayla. A straight up emotional juggling act. Maurice immediately tried to clean it up. His PR team jumped in with a statement calling Shayla a bitter woman with no credibility and saying the allegations were totally false. He followed up with an Instagram post calling the situation unfortunate, denying any cheating and saying he was focused on healing and growth. Of course, he threw in a line about loving Kimmy and wanting to work things out privately. But here's what made Shayla's claims harder to ignore. Her receipts were legit, her timeline lined up, she posted photos that hinted at intimate moments with Maurice, and the internet started connecting dots. As for Kimmy, she hasn't said a word. No defense, no denial, just silence. And honestly, that silence is loud. Insiders close to Kimmy say she's emotionally checked out. Like, done. She's not trying to fix it anymore. She's not trying to cover for him. She's not holding space for apologies that keep coming after more betrayal. She's protecting her peace. The woman who once carried everything, her illness, her marriage, her man's ego, is now choosing herself. And for a lot of fans, that's the power move they've been waiting for. Because let's be honest, the question now isn't will they get back together? It's can a man truly change after losing the woman who held him down through everything? Or is Maurice just mourning the idea of Kimmy, the image he took for granted, now that she's finally out of reach? Sometimes people don't change until they've lost everything. But by then, it's already too late. So now the streets are buzzing, the fans are watching, and the reunion season, maybe it's about to be explosive. Cause Kimmy, she might be quiet now, but don't be surprised if she shows up to that reunion with receipts, resolve, and a whole lot of truth to unload. She's been through hell fighting for her health, her marriage, and her sanity. And when she finally stopped fighting for him, that's when he woke up. But let's be real, how many times can you wake up after the damage is already done? Maurice didn't just lose a wife, he lost the woman who held him up. Through every late night study session, every real estate hustle, every family conflict, Kimmy was there. Quietly sacrificing, silently enduring, and for what? To be ignored when it mattered most? To be loved loudly only after walking away? That's the part that hits the hardest. What really stings for fans is knowing how much Kimmy gave. She wasn't just a partner, she was his backbone. And when she needed him most, he crumbled into silence. Now he's screaming into the void, and the woman he once overlooked is finally choosing peace over performance. And let's not forget, this whole thing didn't just unfold privately. This was public. Social media, blogs, live streams, it's been a full-blown emotional circus. And Maurice? He helped build that stage, which makes us all wonder what was real and what was just TV. Even now, fans are split. Some are clinging to hope, saying maybe they'll find their way back. Others are saying, hell no, Kimmy deserves a clean break and a soft new chapter. And Shayla, she's still out here standing firm. She says her goal wasn't to ruin Maurice, it was to expose the truth, to make sure people saw through the crocodile tears and PR spent. And honestly, mission accomplished, because once those receipts hit the timeline, the narrative shifted. Maurice might be begging on voicemail, crying on IG Live, and pulling out rings, but none of that erases the fact that while his wife was fighting cancer, he was allegedly whispering sweet nothings to another woman behind closed doors. And no handwritten letter in the world can fix that. As for Kimmy's next move, that's up to her. She's been radio silent. But don't mistake that for weakness. That silence, that's her reclaiming her power. That's her refusing to do the emotional labor again. That's her saying, you don't get to break me and then expect me to hold your hand while you cry about it. Fans have been watching this unfold like a slow, heartbreaking movie. And now that the credits are starting to roll, the real question is, will Kimmy write a new script for herself? One where she's the star. One where she's not just strong, but happy. Because at the end of the day, being strong is surviving. But being happy, that's the part she deserves now. So tell us, y'all, what do you think? Was Maurice's emotional breakdown a genuine wake-up call, or was it too little, too late? Do you think he truly regrets how he treated Kimmy, or is he just panicking because he lost the one woman who never stopped believing in him until now? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, because this story is far from over. And with the Love and Marriage Huntsville reunion coming fast, let's just say, Kimmy's next words might just be the final nail in the coffin. Stay tuned. In the coffin, stay tuned.